cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Sing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Sing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Sing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Sing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Sing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7.
Hello, hello. Hola. Oh, I should check real quick. King Rex. I think I can get more emotes. Do a quick check to see. Menu. Remember how that's even done? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like I can add 3 more. That should be fun. Hello, hello. We'll have to figure out which emojis people would like to bring over from the Discord. Oh, there was the whole voting thing. Maybe they've already got 3. That would be good. First game's gonna be Bremer. Ooh, that's Bremer. Binkle. Well, this is a attorney game. Do I not have any music going? What's going on here? I do. Just there we go. I think my speaker was just too quiet to pick up my own music. Well, I'll go on the Sammy side, I guess. Sammy can be equalized. We have done this map before. I haven't done this match. I'll give some more time for people to pop on in. Get ready for some solidly 800 level plays. Oh, we're ready. Exact same side too. You were also yellow comment. Nice, nice. Oh, you did this. Oh, you played on this map. Gotcha. You love watching low-level Advanced Wars? It can be good. It can be good. I need to change that little icon. So. You love doing low-level Advanced Wars. It's something special. It's amazing just how much of a difference there can be in the game. You can't beat anyone? I'm sure you can somewhat. I really wish I could get rid of this word. Just blocks chat. Off. Alright. We'll dive on in. We've got Bremer 1701 versus Twinkle. Adder versus Sammy. I personally think that Adder is going to be have the advantage in this map, just because there's going to be a lot of vehicles trying to dominate the middle, and then a few vehicles on the side, but especially copters will be able to attack the sides really effectively. And Adder will be able to boost all of those units with the not the day-to-day, but with the normal power, giving the extra movement and of course the +10/+10 stats. Where Sammy will have a nice day-to-day for like foot soldier combat, but that's only gonna get you so far. You do have the added threat of trying to snipe the HQ while like building bombers to kill the black boat, and then using your Sammy super to get the capture. But if Adder's playing well enough, that shouldn't happen, but we'll see. It's definitely a possibility. It's your first time playing Sammy, you're going off of vibes and Humida's Sammy vid. I don't think I've seen Humida's Sammy vid. Sorry, Humida. I've just been busy. I haven't been watching anyone's content. As Sammy, I would definitely recommend trying to just get an advantage over having 3-to-1 comm towers. That can help make up for the negative day-to-day. And should be something that Sammy can kind of excel at, because foot soldiers will be really strong when they can like cross over the rivers into this area. And this comm tower is pretty much safe. A good Sammy is terrifying. That's true. Hey. I think Sammy might be one of the worst. Oh no. Might be one of the worst feeling COs when things are going poorly. So what happened here is Bremer did not see that there is another base to build from way up here in this corner. So we've had some base skips happening. It could also be that Bremer really wants to get a day 3 tank. Whoa. Okay. Twinkle really wants this city for some reason. Delaying, you really don't want to delay your bases like this, because every turn that you delay a base is one less infantry you're producing, and also that means all of the properties that this base would capture, like, I don't know, everything in the north part of the map, is being delayed by an entire turn. So you might be like, oh, it only cost me 1,000 funds to delay this and like 1 infantry, but it's actually more than that. If it's capturing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 properties ish, that means you actually cost yourself 7,000 funds, because all of these properties are delayed by a turn, and you also delayed this base by a turn. So, I mean, You do get this one earlier, so it's not going to be quite that bad, but it's very expensive to delay your bases. Fog mist is too thick to see the base. I would think the base is easier to spot in fog, because it reveals itself. But that's why it's really expensive and why you don't delay getting your bases and or building your infantry. So like up here, it's the same thing for Bremer. So Bremer's not built in infantry for 2 turns. So if we count how many properties this base captures, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-ish. That means that costs Bremer 18,000 funds to skip those 2 infantry productions, because all of these are delayed by 2 turns. It's expensive. I would not recommend. Okay, but we're starting to get the infantry building now, which is good. Winkle's going to go for the first... Oh, he's going double recon here. Okay, we got some Sammy recon aggression. It's not bad. Sammy recons can still like harass infantry, no problem. Yeah, don't worry. I've also missed bases in my time. I imagine everyone's missed a base at some point, and then you get like obsessive about like, okay, do I see all the bases I need to build from? Something you can do is when you're playing the game, in the little top right corner, we'll have like a next unit / next production facility button, that's active. So if you like wait your black boat, it will tell you which base you can build from. It does have a downside in the maps that have just like a base that's completely isolated, that all it can do is like build a recon or whatever. They won't work anymore because now that button will like go to that base, and sometimes you can miss your other bases because of that. It's my #1 reason of disliking those kinds of maps. Okay, out comes the recon. It's spotting that nothing's being captured over here yet, which is not unusual. Not like Twinkle's capturing yet either, but as we're going to see, Bremer is way behind in comparison on that front. Whoa. This is a very gutsy move that I would not recommend. So I think what Bremer's trying to do is like either sneak this comm tower or sneak this city. And this is something that you can kind of do in standard, where you take a very forward property and then you can just constantly try and deny your opponent from taking it back. That doesn't work very well in fog. It will just get you caught in a huge overextension fight that you don't know what your opponent's bringing, and they'll just like completely drain you out of money and then take that property back from you. So I would really not recommend trying to sneak one of your opponent's properties. You can try and do it with the contested properties, but this is like a very poisonous idea to go for. I understand the appeal. It's like, oh, it's fog, I can be really, really sneaky. And it's true that through sneakiness, you could get that comm tower. It's just you'll most likely lose the unit and then lose the comm tower, or lose all of your units that you send to try and protect the comm tower. Because it's so far into enemy territory. Tank. Oh. And here, I would just retreat with this infantry. Like, it's kind of being sent forward to just kind of die. You might as well send it back so it's covered by a tank. And then if the recon like chases it, then maybe the tank can get the kill on the recon. And trading an infantry for a recon, you're happy there. Pop. Nice interrupt over here. I would be a little bit careful, especially as Sammy, with the infantry movement, Like, I don't like that the infantry's on a road next to a city. You want to preserve your infantry count as Sammy, especially. Really, as anyone, you don't want to do this because now if your opponent does have someone covering this, they can come in and hit you. You're on a road, the worst terrain type, 0 defense stars, and they get to hit you from a city, a really defensive terrain type. So it kind of sets them up to have a very effective strike on you. So here we see Twinkle doesn't try and interrupt the comm tower, and I'm totally fine with that because this comm tower, much like this one, is just so safe. It's like interrupting it it's not bad, but it's not going to be great. It's not like you can deny that forever. And instead, it's just like getting center control and killing off an infantry completely. I much prefer that. Unless there was a lot of ongoing fighting and delaying the comm tower significantly, or even by like a couple turns, will have a large difference or impact, then I'd be more in favor of that. Again, this movement, I'm not a huge fan of. It looks like this infantry is planning to maybe attack here because we've got like this guy that go for this property, this one to go here, or maybe this guy's going to go down onto like the river tile and then over to the city. I'm not quite sure. But there's no current support for going in for this kind of attack. And as Sammy, I wouldn't really suggest it because that looks like the kind of thing where you might hit an infantry and then the vehicles just come and kill your infantry and you're Sammy going down in infantry count in the early game, which is where you really need to preserve them so that you have them when your powers start popping off. Yeah. So that's like opening technique maybe. You want to have cities with different infantry assigned to capture them, or properties, I guess. And you don't want to have any property with multiple infantry trying to capturing it with like on the capture route to it at least at the same time. That's I call it cannibalizing your capture routes because it costs you money. It's like if I have 2 infantry going for the same city, well, I could have had 2 cities instead of 1 city then. Like this guy was going for a different one if it was just routed out better. Or you could like not build it infantry because you don't need it. Sometimes you do want to have multiple infantry going for the same city if it's like a contested property. And you want to be prepared for if they interrupt you. Really don't like this move. Just kind of charging forward. Up. Definitely a Sammy, eat up all of these infantry that you can. I would be pretty fine with even having this recon go here and infantry strike and infantry strike to take out this guy. This is also fine, being just falling back, preserving the unit count. Sammy really doesn't like to run out of infantry, but if the opponent runs out of infantry, that means when you do a victory march to take a bunch of their cities, they'll have a hard time taking them back. Capture cannibalization, TM Go7. That was a very brave yellow comet infantry, it's true. So I do like the tank heavy composition that Bremer's got here. The only thing I would change is I would start spamming some copters as well. Double recon's nice though. But this is a pretty good composition for just like fighting a bunch of infantry. It's going to want to stay away from the center of the map because you will expect Sammy to be building a bunch of mechs and just walking across the river. That hasn't happened yet, but looks like we've got one on the way. But that's something I would definitely expect the Sammy player to do. So instead I'm fine with having the tank squads. They would just like attack the outskirts. Because they don't really want to get into a cost effect, like a negative cost-effective battle with a bunch of mechs. Recon's going. So the one thing that Bremer I would suggest working on is just preserving the infantry. They're really just kind of charging forward a little too much without any support. It's something that's called unit coverage, where if you like look at this infantry, whether or not this is a good place for the infantry to be comes down to if there's stuff that can defend it. So like if these tanks were like up here instead, so that their movement actually covered the tile this infantry was on, then suddenly it becomes much more reasonable for the infantry to be standing here, because if something attacks it, then the tanks come in and attack that, you know, the attacker, and you get some positive trades out of that. If the infantry is just kind of forward on a road all alone, then suddenly that's just a dead, like a free unit. They just get to take your unit and they have no repercussion. Okay, this is definitely a little bit gutsy, but kind of at the same time okay. It's gutsy because there isn't a unit on this. Like, usually if you want to go for an attack like this, the ideal situation is you clear this infantry on the city. Like, this guy would kill the infantry on the city, and then you have your tank or an infantry or something stand on the city so that your opponent can't then hit you from the city. But because Bremer's just got so many tanks over here, it kind of doesn't matter. If Twinkle like moves onto the city and attacks from it, sure, it's like a nice first strike, but there's 3 other tanks to get revenge. So in that way, just the sheer number of tanks lets Bremer get away with attacks like that. Tinkle's moving out. Tinkle's got Copter. That's very good. I really like this. Just preserve those infantry. Oof, that is a really nice spot for a recon to stand. It sees the airport and it sees both bases, so complete information of the production on the bottom half of the map. Only one base is unknown. And when you see this amount of production, it kind of de facto gives you the production of this other base, because you know the general income level that your opponent has, and assuming they're spending their money every turn, you can just subtract the amount they spent here and determine what they built at the other base. So here, if I was Twinkle and I was like, Bremer's got about 20k and they spent 8k here, I would probably think anti-air or tank. I would think anti-air, tank, or medium tank, thinking that they might have banked some money for the medium tank. So I would think a vehicle up here. In this case, it's a tank, which is on the lower end. I think I would probably think it would be a medium tank. In comes Bremer with a ton of tanks. So this is fine to scout with this tank. I'm not quite sure what it's looking for. The other thing you can do is just go back to your city and heal up. And then now there's a medium tank. Whoa. Okay. If I see double base skip copter, I'm thinking medium tank, or maybe even like neo tank. Like, there's got to be a reason why a double base skip happened here. You don't want to just, because whenever you're base skipping, it's not as bad as it is in like the early game where you're costing yourself like 18k, but it is still kind of like giving your opponent 2 unit kills. It's just 2 less units that they have to deal with. So well done by Bremer to get this comm tower. Twinkle definitely needed to go for this north a little bit more with all these guys. Looks like it's happening. Just a little slower. Bunch of copters. I like it. The mixed unit composition is really hard to deal with. Oh, you didn't know how to get to the island? So you can go this route like you're doing with this infantry. That's the kind of usual route. You can also just walk across the rivers. Or you can buy a transport copter if you want. So we have the adder normal power. Pop. And so far the adder normal power has just been for the stats. They go, yeah, I don't think there was any movement really needed there, but that's okay. So here is Sammy. You're getting really close to the super, so I would start trying to line up a bunch of captures of properties and especially of comm towers. And as Bremer, I would be trying to stop any of those captures, of course. Like I definitely have my eyes on this comm tower, and I'd be dreaming of getting this comm tower. Bremer's doing a good job of controlling this area. Medium tank says hello. And then we have another side slip. Trunk is taken out. It's in a forest. The copter doesn't even see the anti-air. It's gonna be very sad. Ooh, okay, we get some nice captures going with the extra movement. As you can see, the unit count wise, like Twinkle's way ahead. Whoa, double time? I would definitely victory march here because I'm like I can easily take this. I'm like I'll take triple comm tower to one comm tower, but we'll see what, and also like 2 cities, 3 cities, 3 cities, 2 comm towers. I'd be pretty happy with that. But okay, double time. Let's see it. Okay, I don't know why we went after that recon. So here I would go copter hits tank, tank hits that tank to get a nice 2-hit KO. Yeah, so as Sammy, I would not really care about this city being taken, especially if we got so much charge left. If you want to, you can always just take it back with a victory march. I'd be much more happy just picking off all these vehicles. Ooh, okay. Well, we have a bomber, and this bomber definitely screams to me that Twinkle is thinking about just taking the HQ and ending the game. Poor Mech, what did they ever do to you? Anti-air has a choice of targets. Nice swing on the copter. Yeah, that was a nice spot from Bremer, getting this attack from the city there. Okay, Twinkle gets that capture, starts moving out. Comm tower, pick off an infantry. I'm not 100% sure what's the plan with up here. Usually, I mean, there's a lot of infantry that's trying to go for these captures, so that's okay. But I would be more willing to just kind of back off from a medium tank at this point until Bomber got in range, I guess. I guess the bomber is just for the medium tank. Blame me. Push the panic button. Smack. Smack. Okay, so done with this like vehicle strike force. Very good to get this medium tank to help deal with it. Yeah, shoot the medium tank and just try and gobble up as many vehicle kills that you can. Blocked the way. I would like to have some infantry trying to protect this anti-air, personally. Usually, you would want your APC to be built at the more forward base if you're going to build one. I wouldn't build an APC at this stage, though. I would just build a transport copter. Usually, mainly for a unit count thing. And the bases have more important things, more options for things to build than the airports do. And transport copters fly, of course. I don't know why the medium tank didn't hide in the forest. I'm not sure why the medium tank moved here. I guess he was just trying to get out of this recon vision. Ooh, looks like Bremer's gonna try and like go for a base kill or something. That would be audacious. Oh, the artillery went down. Okay. No, we're not doing that. We're backing off once the medium tank shows its face. Okay. Do get the comm tower. I would probably use a victory march here. One. I'd go for this. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 captures and triple comm tower. I just really like triple comm tower, as you might have noticed. it's a little bit of a flaw. Okay, nice bomber kill. Lots of backup for it. Unfortunate that it can't have something a little more sturdy than a 6 health tank guarding it, but at least it's something. And this does put pressure on with the comm tower capture at the same time. Now this is where we get to find out if Bremer's not watching the replays. This bomber is just perfectly out of vision, and this anti-might like trying to interrupt the comm tower instead. But no, okay, looks like Bremer is not going to do something like that. The side slip anti-air hits the bomber, does a ton of damage. Comm tower interrupted. Pretty good strikes over here. I'd like to see these units just kind of ditch, because if they can't fight the medium tank that came out, then there's no reason to stay there. Might as well go like attack the middle where the medium tank isn't. Okay. Still not using the victory march, which I don't quite understand. We got some boosts though. Copter, anti-air, seems good to me. Get out. Get out. Copter. I'd have the bomber hit that first. Okay, that's okay. You can send the bomber back and just repair it. That also works. No. Yeah. So you can send units to your black boat on the HQ to repair. It's going to repair like one at the end of this turn and then one at the beginning of the next turn. So it is kind of like repairing at an airport. Otherwise, I see no reason to run away with a 1 health bomber. It might as well be used for chip damage and also being an amazing blocker. We have a Neo tank from Bremer here. Oh. Definitely don't recommend attacking into this. As Bremer, kind of like what should your goal be? And the only targets I'm really seeing that stand out are like these cities, this city, and this comm tower would be what I'd be thinking about attacking. I really wouldn't want to try and fight Sammy in the middle because of the easy access to mechs. I thought there was a mech available to hit this recon, but maybe not. I'd also be really concerned for my comm tower. Twinkle's just been standing on it. Yeah, that's not super safe to go for. As you can see, a mech is covering that mech. There's the Neo tank spam. It's not bad. Copters can't hide in the woods. Gets chomped. Okay. And that comm tower, it's just... This is another turn where going for the supers makes a lot of sense to me. 1, 2, 3, 4 cities. 1, 2, 3, 5. And a comm tower. Okay. Can just hold on to it. Get the side slip from Bremer. Recon goes smack. Good job protecting the city. Neo tank's getting some really good first strikes here. There's the copter. That's a classic adder move. Copter plus infantry. Medium tank. This always hurts. Medium tank gets trapped trying to enter into a forest. It just happens to also get trapped in artillery range. This is where you learn that forests don't hide air units. Yeah. Oh, that's why the bomber went back here. It's trying to hide in the woods. I see. Boosting. I'm very proud of all the boosting. A lot of injured units. So many very injured adder units that just barely survive. Very forward anti-air. I usually prefer anti-airs to be a little less forward than that. They can't just get picked off. We're going to straight into bomber spam. Wow, that's a gutsy Neo tank. That's a super dead Neo tank. This one's definitely a little bit better positioning. Well, Bremer resigns? Oh, Bremer saw the bomber that hit the Neo tank. I see. I'm surprised Bremer resigned there, because, I mean, Bremer's definitely behind, but honestly not doing too bad considering the start. It was a very solid vehicle tactics going on. You should have abandoned the top a lot faster to move towards HQ. Yeah, I thought you were building the bombers to go take the HQ. This should have been something. I think just using... I mean, the game would probably have been over if you just used the Victory March to take like 5 properties and the comm tower. GG. Stealth Spectrum game versus SometimesLocke. We have Javier. We had one last time. The bombers were for the HQ beat until confident using the Victory March. Yeah, that's understandable. There's a lot of pressure on that thing. It takes a lot of charge. Face to the left. Face to the right. Here we go. Javier mirror. Oh, it's this map. This is the map that I played as Sammy versus Von Bolt on stream and was absolutely miserable. Is that Neverlocke? No, this is SometimesLocke. How does the Javier mirror even go? It tends to go... Someone uses a normal power, and then the other person uses a normal power. Do I think other animals can learn how to play Advance Wars? I'm dreading the day leopard seals learn how to play Advance Wars. But for the most part, I think it's been a penguin centric game, which is good for me. I think an octopus could figure it out. True. So the comm towers, I believe there's just one per player. Trying to make sure I'm not missing it. And they're very, very safe. The silver seals. The silver seals. Oh, that's pretty good. Is there a reason to use Javier's super over normal power? The only time you would use the super over normal power is if it's reaching meaningful breakpoints. But if that's not the case, then in all the modes you would pretty much only use the normal power. Unless you somehow have more than one comm tower. Then there'd be times to use the super. Okay. I think this makes a lot of sense to play Javier on this map, because there's a lot of choke points that people use artillery at. Javier, kind of loves to use his own artillery while being defended against the opponents. In this case, Stealth Spectrum, it's like, you know what? I know you're Javier and I'm Javier. I'm still cranking out the artillery. So even when that damage is being cut in half, either of these Javiers has their power active, then the artillery will do like nothing. So we'll see how it works out. I feel like the labs are a bit obsolete on this map. The central ones certainly are. I mean, you can kind of cover them with indirects, although not really with against Javier, of course. This lab just gets taken once the base falls. It's very interesting to see that both of these Javier players have delayed their comm tower buys for so long. It kind of implies that they're planning for a fairly peaceful game, I guess. So either one of them could have rushed the comm tower a little bit faster and used that to try and get some harassment going, but it's not wrong to like the way they're playing it isn't bad. They're just going for like pure economic openings, and since they're both going for pure economic openings, there's no downside to delaying the comm tower for so long. Now, it looks like Stealth Spectrum did a smart thing here in capturing this city really fast, faster than SometimesLocke could lock it, because this is SometimesLocke, not always lock. But the city over here is being contested by both players. So this is the advantage that Stealth Spectrum's gone for in the opening here. It looks like this city's the one that SometimesLocke is going for the advantage at. Let's see if it works out though. We've got quite a bit of artillery here. Stealth Spectrum is going to have this comm tower first, so there's going to be a turn where we've got stronger Javier units versus weaker ones. the artillery. This city, also this city could be one for SometimesLocke. Okay, center. Stealth Spectrum's getting very defensive about it. We have an artillery staring here, so it's not going to be able to defend this city, but it can at least prevent it from being captured, I guess. We do have the first Neo tank from SometimesLocke here, answered with Stealth Spectrum's own. We were actually short on artillery for Stealth Spectrum, so unable to lock both this property and this one. This one didn't actually have to be locked, so probably should have just stayed over here because this was an injured infantry. Okay, more artillery for Neo tanks. There's so many. I did not expect to see so many artillery bots. I feel like if they hadn't both committed so hard to the artillery, if one player just got a few and the other one got a ton, well, the player who didn't was just like investing more in heavy vehicles, we could see an absolute blowout with the power used. Because if suddenly half of your army value just can't damage the opponent, then I feel like the game could just suddenly end. But since they both have invested a fair bit in artillery, I don't think there's going to be a really lopsided engagement around that. Okay. So as Stealth Spectrum, I would have absolutely no fear with my Neo tank attacking from this city. I think this artillery would do like 2 damage, maybe. But it's got like, you have 60% defense on there and then about to repair. Yeah, I would be fine. Especially because you can then have your own artillery backing it up. So kind of weird that SometimesLocke went in there. So I'm surprised that SometimesLocke doesn't have any infantry available to start capturing this, because you could probably bust through this with join caps. Okay. I don't quite understand why Stealth Spectrum was so hesitant to attack from this city. I would much prefer to have a unit on this city than to give my opponent the chance to stand on that city. You commented on the 30-minute ago replay. Welcome, welcome. I didn't see your stream, Elegant2, but I saw that you had a stream when I posted in the featured content. So congratulations on starting. How did it go? Ooh, bunch of tanks and a Neo tank. Okay, well, looks like we might be stopping with all of the indirect unit production. Hey, Mega Man, I'm sorry to hear that you're feeling under the weather. Use 7 artillery to kill a mega tank. You mostly stream to make a VOD for YouTube. You haven't streamed seriously in more than 10 years. That is quite a while. But yeah, I really enjoy the VOD system for the streams on YouTube. That's why I stream on YouTube. We've got a center stare down over here. I'm not quite sure which one, wow, SometimesLocke just kind of let Stealth Spectrum take the city. So Stealth Spectrum will have a 2k income lead. not that impactful when you're dealing with 48 to 50k, but it is something. So a lot will come into continuing to deny this property and this one. And we'll just get to see how SometimesLocke wants to pressure Stealth Spectrum. This looks like, to me, this looks like an awful position to be for Stealth Spectrum, because this army here is kind of like pincered. It's flanked. And also the city is just completely open to start being captured. I feel like these two players are way too scared of the artillery. I don't know if they just forgot that they're playing as Javier. Like, the artillery do an okay amount of damage, but they don't do... I mean, double artillery will be something to respect. But if it's like single artillery staring at the city, you can kind of just step on that city. Yeah, there's some Advanced Wars by Web content on Twitch, mainly Voice of Akasha. Some others too. Oh. Here we go. Look at that. Stealth Spectrum being like, oh yeah, I'm Javier. Sure, your artillery can shoot me, but I'm just going to go up a whole unit. And looks like we're just going to do that once. Stealth Spectrum is going to test out what it's like to be Javier. Take 3. Ooh, SometimesLocke goes straight for the power here. There we go. Bam, take out the Neo tank. Go for that capture. Go for that capture. I like it. In. Go for this capture. So when Javier has the power active, the indirect defense bonus gets doubled, as well as the comm tower one. So it goes to 40%, plus 20% from comm towers, plus 10% from having a power active. So that's 70%, plus 30% from the terrain stars means if you're on a property and your normal power is active, you take 0 damage from indirects. So this artillery cannot interrupt this capture. Now Stealth Spectrum got hit by the first normal power. We're going to use the super in response. So the super isn't as... Well, I mean, it triples your comm tower bonus and indirect defense bonus. It triples your comm tower bonus, so instead of the plus 20% that SometimesLocke gets, it's plus 30%, so it's only 10% more. Where the normal power jumps you from your normal 10-10 stats from your comm tower to 30-30, as it gives you the 10-10 you get for having a power active, and it doubles your comm tower. So you go to 30 attack, 30 defense. When you get the super, you go to 40 attack and 40 defense, so that's only plus 10 more instead of the... for a whole 3 more stars, where you get plus 20 for using the normal power. So cost effective wise, people tend to just use the normal power a lot. But sometimes you're going to want those extra stats. Ooh, this means that the infantry can interrupt. Knock it down to 9. It can be tough to completely deny this, but we'll see. It might be possible. Okay. The infantry make a little wall. More Neo tanks. To me, it looks like this army should just kind of collapse down. So you go towards your bases and away from the major army that SometimesLocke does, or has. We'll see if that's how Stealth Spectrum also feels. Looks like that's not the case. Or maybe it's only kind of the case. Looks like it's only kind of the case. Okay. So SometimesLocke doesn't have much charge here. So we'll see how the turn goes. Whoa, look at that. That's a tough tank. Survives Neo tank plus tank attack. So these are not very charge generating attacks. So SometimesLocke is not going to try and get a power first. Like a power this turn. And that's very good for Stealth Spectrum. You have the Mega Tank down here, which will be scary. You can one-shot stuff. But, yeah, because there's quite a few units exposed here for SometimesLocke, it's very possible for Stealth Spectrum to generate an entire normal power and use it this turn. Which is kind of what I thought SometimesLocke would try and do. The Stealth Spectrum does that, then suddenly all of these artillery that should be defending will be much less effective. We'd even get Stealth Spectrum that city. We'll see. This is a really weird way for Stealth Spectrum to go about this. So I would have imagined that you'd have this 6 health tank attack the 4 health tank, then have this guy hit the artillery, because you're trying to generate as much charge as you can. Get your normal power. Like, you're going to give the super to your opponent either way. Would have the normal power. I'd be surprised if Stealth Spectrum doesn't use the normal power here. Then it's gonna be a very paleo. Okay. Yeah, so I don't quite like how that worked out. That's okay. It's really weird to not attack in here. We do have the Tower of Power response from SometimesLocke. Neo Tank can attack in here. You can see having that normal power active. Pop, take one, take one. Ooh, that tank survived. Power of the defense. Tank. This is a little bit questionable to go for. I guess I mean, I would just prefer to completely kill a Neo Tank. It might not have been possible, though. The lab, oh no! It's really good to go for these captures in the middle of the fights. Both because it might get you properties, but also it can force vehicles to hit your infantry rather than your own vehicles. Which cost effective is really, really good in your advantage, even if it's just a tank. Yeah, it's still true in high funds. You use the... If you're talking about how power use is used. I mean, you can get away with using the super more. It's not like you feel it as bad as you do in the standard and fog. The replays go well. They go well. So there's definitely an argument for SometimesLocke to not use the super that turn. I don't know how the math was working out, but if you could get away with just using the normal power instead of the super, then you have the threat of just using the normal power again very easily on the follow-up turn, and Stealth Spectrum is just going to be in a more threatened position. Because now what happens is Stealth Spectrum is probably going to be able to reach the normal power with a bunch of these Neotank attacks. But since a lot of these Neotank's attacks have been going on for a while, it's going to be hard for SometimesLocke to have as much available value on the board to reach the next power, just because the super was used. It's going to completely drain the power. But we'll see. Okay, we are going to use the normal power. This is to save the city. Okay. New tank kills tank. And there's still a fair few of Neotanks here. This is probably okay for SometimesLocke. Wow, I felt like some stuff didn't happen there. I'll be wrong. Okay, so SometimesLocke does get the lab. It's more impactful than lab cap for dominance. If SometimesLocke gets all of the labs, then they'll win. But they do have to capture this lab in the top right corner, directly behind a base. So that's a lot harder to get. It's not impossible, though. It's just very difficult. Okay, here comes some Neotank attacks. Where, like, as you can see, it takes quite a bit to reach that normal power. In fact, it looks like SometimesLocke isn't actually going to get there. Yeah, so that really sucks. Especially if there's too many Neotanks left open from trying to get there. It doesn't look like there are. So Stealth Spectrum probably won't be able to get a very easy normal power. But if the... oh, maybe. Neotank was a little available. If Stealth Spectrum does get another normal power, you can see how they just kind of chain together, and the cost effectiveness of using normal powers over supers rears its head. But I don't think it's happening. I think Stealth Spectrum just misses out. Could probably have done it with just a tank sacrifice. But it didn't happen. Okay, so SometimesLocke goes straight for the super. It does give 10 more stats. Oh man, if it's missing out on these kills, then I'm like, I would just prefer to use the normal power. If you miss out on the kills either way, it's like it's kind of like the difference of these being at 1 or these being at 2. I feel like that's as important as having the extra charge left over. Of course, it does also work for the defense here. So yeah, Stealth Spectrum uses the normal power. Although maybe the super was more important if it would get that kill. I don't know. It's always, that's how you'd be judging it. Does the extra stats matter for the attacks you're going for? And the attacks that your opponent would go for in the following turn. Okay. Try and guard this Neotank. I do like how Stealth Spectrum is giving a very wide berth to these mega tanks. They're really slow, I'm sure everyone knows. So if the longer you can just kind of stay out of their range, the worse they become as an investment. And then the other thing about mega tanks is they really are terrified of low health vehicles, because like a 1 health tank, a 2 health tank, a 1 health neo tank, and they all just hit this mega tank and suddenly has 0 ammo, and then just the full health neo tanks can attack it, take no damage back, and it's just kind of chilling there on the shoals. Now there's no full health neo tanks over here, so that part of it is kind of safe from, but there are some 7 health ones. There you can see Stealth Spectrum just has to do a little bit of fighting to get another normal power. Okay, looks like we might just leave the Mega alone. Barely interrupt that cap. We just Stealth Spectrum's not going to use the power. It looks like we're just going to run away. There are a lot of Neo tanks defending that Mega. Okay, sometimes Locke is definitely using a power here. Mega gets the kill. Oh, full health tank. Yeah, you're good. The power. It's pretty good attack here from SometimesLocke. Here's a Mega. Well, okay, there is a Mega in range of a Mega, which is very scary. And also this Mega. These Megas, it was very weird to attack in with these Neo tanks here. Like, this is a Neo tank for an artillery because there's a Mega right here covering it. So that was a really weird move by SometimesLocke. Megas hit really hard. Looks like we're going to use the super for this engagement. Yo, holds the line. And again, this artillery can't actually do any damage to this infantry on the city. Hop. So this must mean that Stealth Spectrum did not find a way. Well, it's actually not true. It either means that Stealth Spectrum didn't find a way to kill this infantry and then get to this mega tank, or Stealth Spectrum is just going to sack a bunch of units or 2 units into this so that it has no ammo, and therefore decided it's more important to just kill the Neo tanks. And that's looks to be exactly how it went. Okay. That guy, Mega comes in. Got that one, and we take out that one. Yeah. The weakness of the Mega. You get to see the weakness of the Mega for SometimesLocke and the strength of the Mega for Stealth Spectrum there. Get the one-shot Neo tanks. But you one-shot anything, including 1 health tanks. Just ran out of ammo. Let's reach. Oh. Well, we'll see if SometimesLocke does it, but there's some cute plays over here. Like you can have the Mega kill the medium tank and then just put the artillery here, and the Neo tank doesn't reach. Then the Mega can't actually hit the other Mega even though it's covering the medium tank. And the infantry can't kill the artillery. We'll see if SometimesLocke goes for it. It's like a free kill. Nope. Okay. Yeah. And having absolutely no APCs with the megas makes them a lot worse. Does Mega kill against Super? I don't think I doubt a Mega will one-shot a Neo tank against a Javier Super. Let me check real quick. I'll bring out the damage chart for you guys, because we can look at the Mega. Hey everyone, this is the damage chart. This is where you can tell how much damage a unit does against another unit without going into the damage calculator. So we look at the Mega here. Here's the Mega. You see it overkills a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Against the Neo tank, it only does 115. So it does overkill it, of course. But if this Neo tank has like 20% defense and up, then the Mega tank won't one-shot it. Unless the Mega tank has a firepower boost. So the way it's going to work is for every 10% firepower boost, you're going to increase this by 10%. So plus 11.5. And then you'll take the complete total of that and then take the defense percentage off of it. If that makes sense. So if you have a comm tower, this is going to be doing a base damage of 126.5. But that 0.5 will get rounded down, unfortunately. So then you need more than 20% defense. So against this, basically against the Javier Super, it's not going to one shot. The fun facts. But if you were on a city, you'd be fine. Or if you're on a city, you'd also be fine. Well, not fine. You're just not one shot. Okay. You're gonna heal up these units, totally fine. But also, you got to see the value of keeping these one health units around. They're really good for sacrificing, especially against mega tanks. These are some really sketchy attacks again. Yeah, sometimes like just resigns. Those are sketchy because those are covered by megas, unless you have something to block. Like over here, that attack works because you can block the access. Down here you can't. GG. The power management's really big in that mirror. AA01 Blue versus Rock Golem. I am not familiar with this map. I assume it's a war room map. It looks awful to me. As do most war room maps. It's Colin versus Drake. Okay. We've got forward bases over here. I mean, they're only kind of forward bases. They're forward bases for the rest of these properties, but they're farther away from the harbors than these ones are. Interesting. Well, there's no more bases down here for Rock Golem to capture. So hopping into black boat / landers as fast as possible to try and get these ones or interrupt these is pretty big. Getting these harbors would be really big for Rock Golem. I mean, that's got to be the play. There's no air units, so getting this... I think these bases might not even matter. I think you go... If you can get harbor, 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 you just kind of win. Extra island is in DS. Gotcha. Here we go. APC, fast APC makes sense. Fast black boat makes a ton of sense to me as well. Yeah, I was gonna say you want a fast black boat. Let's call it. Go for a recon. Okay. Yeah, look at that. That's a nice little black boat. You can drop off right over here and then go for this. Actually, I think you have to. Well, this black boat's a little too slow. It can't stand in the harbor. Yeah. So what happens here? Oh no, it can. Okay. I guess the game is just not giving me the Drake extra movement. Okay. So because it can reach here, that's really good. Yeah, I 100% agree with Rock Golem just cranking out these black boats for now. Oh, that's a mistake from AA01 Blue. You 100% need to put the black boat here, because otherwise Rock Golem just puts the black boat here, and now you're like never going to get that forward harbor for production facility as a production facility, and Rock Golem is going to be able to lock it down with a battleship. So both of these bases do get claimed, but I don't think that these bases matter. Really want to get this harbor for Colin, but I think Rock Golem actually just... Well, the recon can stand on it. The Rock Golem would love to just go step on this with the black boat. I think this is a mistake for Rock Golem. At this point, I would love to just save up to build a battleship, I think. Maybe it's okay to delay that a little bit. It's just that as long as these harbors aren't occupied, like, it doesn't really matter how much stuff Colin has on the land. And battleships outrange the rockets, so I'm surprised Rock Golem didn't get faster battleship. We are going to get one this turn, just in time to try and fight this Colin one. Oh, okay, we're going to go for the submarine. I guess that's okay. I think I would prefer the battleship. Maybe that's too slow because the Colin's just going to start shooting this with the battleship. Free up the harbor. It's not really that big of a deal. You build your own battleship and you just lock it. This is the one I'd be more worried about at this point, I think. But the problem I see with the sub is Colin can build cruisers and just kind of cover this really easily. But we'll see. Something that Rock Golem could be doing to set up for this is just having the black boats a little bit closer to this fight, and then something the black boats can just kind of zoom in here and cover the sub, right? So like let's say Colin blocks here and here with the black boats, and then you just zoom in and kill one black boat, and then have the black boats stand next to your sub, so that even if one gets cleared away, it's not enough. They need to have another. They need 2 tiles to hit your sub. They need 1 to reveal it, and 1 to strike from. So huge play here for Colin. No battleship available to lock the harbor. It's kind of okay for Rock Golem. For some reason, Colin doesn't build a cruiser. They cost 18k. Like, it's no. That's exactly enough money for a cruiser, isn't it? Very weird then. So no cruiser built. So the harbor is not going to get captured because Rock Golem can use the normal power. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Rock Golem should definitely have used the normal power before going for these attacks. Or repair the infantry. I can't repair that one. Never mind. Well, if you use the normal power first, by like, you know, sub-hitting battleship. I'm assuming sub-hitting battleship gets enough. Maybe it doesn't actually. No, it doesn't even get close. Never mind. Never mind. I take it back. Can't use the normal power. The harbor does go through, and that hurts a lot. It was probably inevitable, though. Like, if Colin needs to, can just, like, mass join cap it. Okay, now the cruiser shows up. Day late and a dollar short. Some more battleships. Well, I'm surprised the sub cared. If I'm Rock Golem here, I think I just kill this battleship. And sure, the cruiser hits you, but the cruiser's not going to kill you. And you can then pop your super and just repair yourself back up to full with all the black boats. But it looks like Rock Golem just wants to have the cruiser covered by battleships. Okay. Very spicy battleship build here. Wouldn't recommend. As we see. I would like to see more black boats for Rock Golem actually involved in this fighting. Yeah. As I was saying, the cruiser's not going to kill the sub. It's a Colin cruiser against a Drake sub. Thus making cruisers even less valuable than they already were. Okay, that's a much better buy for A1 Blue. It's not really that good though. I mean, it's just gonna have, it just gets killed by the battleships. Okay, here comes the black boats to save the sub. And also, yeah, this is kind of what I was talking about, where it really doesn't matter, like the land units here. I don't think it's very realistic for Rock Golem to think they're going to win this land fight. I mean, the delays are nice, I guess. I just would prefer more investments in the sea and just win that way. Arguably here, Colin should just delete the sub and build something like another sub if you want to go that route. I don't think that's the right way to play as Colin though. really should try and build up just like a ton of money rather than spending down all the time. Especially because, like, look at all the excess stuff that Colin has on the map. Damn. A little spicy to just chill in range of this artillery. Okay. Some more battleships for Drake. Another cruiser. I'd love to have these battleships. I mean, I guess it's fine to have them trying to delay these captures, but I'd love to have them in this fight instead. Yeah, okay. Looks like Golem's starting to be like, oh yeah. Having a ton of black boats, especially when they're extra strong Drake ones, makes a very big difference. They're really good blockers. Of course, they just heal up your naval units, as we were seeing with this one battleship. Totally agree with Colin just joining all these units together. Okay, this is definitely more what I wanted to see. Ooh, something sank. The 8. Oh no, the 8 health. The 8 health black boat that seems to be holding infantry. It says it's loaded. Sank. That's awful. Okay, there we go. This is more what you want to be doing as Colin. Saving up the money. You do have to be a little bit cautious, because if every single harbor gets 2 battleships staring at it, you just lose the game. Drake wouldn't lose the game with just 2 battleships because the extra defense can withstand that kind of firepower, but Colin would just lose the game. It wouldn't matter how much money Colin has, because there just wouldn't be enough ways to spend it for the Navy. You could build like a battleship in all your harbors, but if there's 2 battleships staring at it, they just go bam bam. It might take 3. I think 2 is going to be probably enough. Or maybe take sub battleship. Don't know why Rock Golem is so resistant on repairing this sub. It would be very good. There's only 1 cruiser in the world for Colin here. Ooh, if Drake's able to get this harbor, things will be looking really nice. Yeah, we get to see all these battleships being an absolute menace. And something that's really nice for Rock Golem as Drake here is subs have 5 movement regularly, but for Drake there's 6. Cruisers have 6 movement regularly, but for Drake there's 7. So Drake subs move at the same rate as Colin's sub or cruisers, so they can kind of be totally fine dealing with the zoning. The Colin sub, however, has to deal with cruisers that move 2 more movement than them, which is really difficult to maneuver around. Okay, so it does take 3, not just 2, to completely lock down the harbor. So we saw another sub build over here. I thought we were going to see a sub here just to deal with this harbor. Also, if a Drake sub ever just if Drake is able to ever get subs standing on these harbors, then it's probably GG. There's no black boat that made it out over here. So these battleships. Oh, that time it did a lot more. No, I only did one more. Never mind. That repaired. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, these battleships. Okay. Kill one of the cruisers. This is where having repaired that sub before would have killed that battleship, but that would have been nice. But yeah, these battleships escaping from Colin's Harbor aren't that good, sadly, because they are just going to get wrecked by the global damage. We do have a lot of money for Colin here. So we'll gold rush. This is what you want, 180k. Oh man, the subs lived. If there was just a bigger black boat fleet for Drake, I think that would be completely GG. But there's only 3 black boats. If there was 8 black boats, then this will just like suddenly become a 5 health sub, and then next turn a 9 health sub, and then it will attack, and then this will be just full health. Like you can heal them so fast. Okay, we got a rocket. Sadly, the problem is the rockets have less range than the battleships. So if the battleships are the ones locking your harbors, then there's not much you can do about it. This harbor's been captured, which is very scary. Drake currently has 10k more income. These black boats should really be repairing these subs. What is this? Why are we not repairing the subs? Okay. You have a cruiser. There's a gold rush. Bloom, lots of money. Ah, okay. So Colin's gonna try and build an impassable wall. The idea is that if you have subs all the way in a line, then you can never find 2 tiles, one to reveal and one to strike from. So you always have to like spend a turn just moving up to them, and then they can either just take a step back or like get first strikes or something. So Colin's got such high cash because the way you play Colin is you save up money so that when you use your gold rush power, which I think gives you 50% more of the money you currently have. It just like constantly compounds. And then once you have a ton of money, you build expensive units and you'll still retain a large bank, and they'll like your expensive units will fight, and that will build you more charge. And since you still have a large bank from saving up before, you just kind of go infinite in your money. Your amount of income doesn't end up mattering anymore. But this is a war room map, so this is from the cartridge games. And normally you'd be playing this against an AI, but instead you're playing it against, in this case, a player, Rock Golem. Now there's a few reasons why this subwall won't work very well. 1, Drake just has way better naval units than Colin does. And 2, Drake can actually hit all of these subs with the global damage and drain their fuel. Which is very difficult to cope with. Really like that Rock Golem brought a Blackwood over here. Having a sub over here, I think would just shut this all down. But okay. Cruiser. Probably gonna see another cruiser. Ooh, that's cheeky. This can get taken out by subs. I'm pretty sure 2 sub hits will kill it. But it's very nice. It's inside the minimum range of the battleship and inside the minimum range of the rocket. And that means that Colin can't build another unit here because the battleship can't get off. More black boots. The lander, okay. Yeah, subs don't kill. To fall back really far here. There is still one sub. So the nightmare scenario is the sub is the thing that stands next to the harbor. And that it looks like that's about to happen for this battleship. Once that happens, you get stuck in a really bad situation. There's basically nothing you can do. If you build a cruiser, it just gets like taken out by the battleships. If you build a sub, it gets taken out by the battleships. If you build a battleship to try and fight the battleships, you get taken out by the sub. And your land-based indirects can't hit subs. So pretty soon here, I think Colin's just going to resign. It's going to become pretty much inevitable that they'll slowly die to the giant Drake Navy. These subs really should be getting more repairs. The tsunami, bam. Okay, we got the sub on the harbor. Again, that's something you can't remove. I think I would have preferred the other harbor having the sub on it, because this one's covered by a bunch of battleships. Things are looking very GG. Colin wasn't quite able to get enough money to go infinite. And going infinite doesn't really matter if you don't have enough stuff to produce from anyway. So there. Colin resigns. GG. Oof. Yeah. Really, it kind of comes down to whether or not Colin is able to stop Drake from getting either of these harbors. I don't know if that's even possible. I think Drake just reaches there fast enough. Was the Advanced Wars games of all time. That's when you're playing the war rooms against a person rather than an AI. Rock Golem is someone on the Discord. They're Dreadnought on there, and you can always play against them on the war rooms if you'd like. It's much more difficult to play against a human than a bot. Okay, 13. Anonymity 13 versus Rollerballz. Sasha versus Javier. Rip, the heart censored you. You either said one of the worst or one of the best. We'll never know. So this matchup, Javier versus Sasha. No, it's just one of the maps. Oh, okay. So in this matchup, it really comes down to Sasha. It only takes 3 bars for Javier to use a power, so powers are going to get through. So it comes down to Sasha making Javier use the powers on turns that aren't super great. And then Javier trying to make it so that those turns are actually awesome. If Sasha tries to just deny the power outright, then Javier will probably get turns that are just really good with the power. So instead, Sasha would prefer to bank up charge. So when real engagements start happening, Sasha just clears the bar 3 turns in a row, and then Javier doesn't get the really good turns. At the cost of Javier getting okay turns, potentially. As for opening wise, this seems totally fine. Going for the forward airport makes sense. Going for like this central area really quickly makes sense. There's a few contested properties here. The harbor is very contested, and these kind of all the properties along this diagonal, like so, are potentially contested. But the most contested ones are the harbors and these like central cities here. These two. So the tank coming over here does pretty much protect this capture. This infantry could have walked forward, like try and force a copter to protect it or something, but it's fine. Ooh, very nice by Rollerballz to get this harbor capture going. Out of range of any infantry capture, and there wasn't time for a copter to be built. There wasn't a copter built for Javier here. This harbor capture gets started, but there's no anti-air built. So Javier can actually just use the tank and attack here to interrupt the harbor capture and just build a copter to cover. Make the copter do something on by, which is pretty nice. Okay, this is much worse. I guess Rollerballz is just worried about the tank getting double hit. I mean, it's gonna die. That's true, but letting the harbor go through is real sketchy. We'll see if it's fine. Now it's just going to come down to whether or not Sasha can hold it, I guess. And that looks like that's going to be totally fine. So that makes Rollerballz feel really sad that went through. Whoa! That's an expensive buy. Would not recommend that. So that costs, I guess I didn't even notice that Rollerballz was saving up that much money. That cost 30,000 funds to lock this airport. I'll have you know that Sasha is about to lock that airport for 8,000 funds. I don't like this because this is well, for one, it costs 30,000 funds to... What? That costs 30,000 funds to buy, and it's a really forward property. I wouldn't have expected the Mega Tank to be the answer. I think Mega Tanks deal an okay amount of damage to carriers. Let's quickly check. Damage chart. How much damage does a Mega Tank do? Mega Tank carrier, it does 45. So it would kill it in quite like 4 turns due to the repairs. Or something. They do really good against black boats. They one-shot them. They're decent against carriers. Another thing that's bad about this is as the carrier slowly dies, it's going to be repaired and cost a ton of money. Yeah, 6K for each repair. Well, artillery is not a great answer to a Mega being built. But also, I don't think the Mega is the best answer for the carrier. I would bring... You can just build artillery. You can build a rocket even. It's fine. Like, Javier is so... was, I would guess, so far behind potentially in usable units due to building a carrier that you can kind of build anything and get away with it. the anti-air ran away, so Javier now could build some stuff from the airport. Looks like we're gonna build a stealth. Now the anti-air feels very silly. Running. It doesn't really, like, the stealth looks kind of scary. If this airport lock was real, as in like something that could hold long term, then this would be really good. But if it's not, it's kind of iffy. Stealths don't do very much damage for the amount of money they cost. So you can either try and run away from them, or you can just kind of tank their hits, essentially. Like here, it's looking like the stealth might be used to hit an infantry capturing a city. So definitely could have kept an anti-air closer, because then the stealth has to stealth so it doesn't get hit by anti-airs. This carrier is getting shipped down. Rollerballz is paying a ton of cash here for the repairs on the carrier. The artillery didn't die, fortunately. 5, it's going to heal up. It costs almost half of Rollerballz income. Repairs here. Now that the mecha tank does need this APC because it's about to run out of ammo from shooting. The tower shield. The stealth goes back and then hides on the airport. So far, not great value. They really need a lot of... They need other stuff going on in the map for stealths to be good. Or for the opponent to have no hope of ever getting their airport. We're running. Okay. Carrier is slowly dying, and every turn costing a ton of money. There's no APC for this stealth, which is also a problem. I don't know why we built a transport copter. I guess that was just to occupy the tile so that infantry couldn't start capturing. Again, I think just bringing in artillery rather than a mega tank would have been a lot better for dealing with this carrier. But maybe the goal was just to drain all of the funds. Ooh, we built the transport copter. It gets shot by the carrier, but it survives. Here comes the stealth. The stealth wants to save the carrier. This is like the one area of the map the stealth doesn't want to go. When the fighter gets built, it will just kind of be able to run straight at the stealth. So at this point, I'd probably just build a fighter. Oh, okay, we're going to build our own stealth. Power shield, fire at the stealth. I think a fighter would have been better. That's okay. I mean, Sasha just got so much more money than Javier does at this point. We're doing war bonds. Okay, well that is going to give a lot of cash for the carrier. It looks like we're also just going to try and win by taking the HQ. Woohoo! Money, money! I do respect the Javier's game plan there. That was amazing. The idea of going carrier into stealth. And I guess the idea is you're Javier, so the indirects coming after you have to deal with your extra defense. That's true. But that's only going to be super impactful on the turns you're actually using your power. They can just bring 2 artillery and get you down pretty easily. Well, the mega tank did its job. GG. Get another game in there. It's a fluffy game. A lot of fluffy games. Operation Mechstorm versus Fluffy. Eagle versus Eagle. Live. Afterthought. So live Eagle games. Live Eagle mirrors. Rare war bonds into win the game. That's true. That's true. I see that Sasha used war bonds and won. Therefore, war bonds is better than Tower of Power. Great logic. Great logic. Okay. I don't think I recognize this map. It looks like a Recon's Dream, though. Maybe I do recognize it. It's very... So usually maps like to be diagonally split with the, or like with the bases facing rather than vertically or horizontally. And that's just because it makes it harder to wall. When the maps are split like this, it's very easy to just kind of wall and stall the game out. So that's why you see a lot of maps that are split. Or more active. Wow. This is a... Okay, so Operation Mechstorm opens Recon first, as I probably would too. I mean, look at this map. It's all shoals and roads. Then Fluffy opens an APC after the Recon. Therefore, basically daring Operation Mechstorm here. Get some sort of value. The tank does cover everything the Recon can attack, it looks like. So far, pretty good. The Recon does get some value. It's just stopping an infantry from capturing. Now, Fluffy didn't do it. But Fluffy had an opportunity here. We can always go APC here, infantry here, infantry here, infantry here, and then the Recon stuck. Probably not worth it, but it would get the kill of a Recon. Okay, move forward. Recon backing up, stopping another property from being captured right away. I mean, I'm surprised. I'm definitely surprised that this Recon hasn't been able to get more value than it has. It's, you know, it's delayed some properties a little bit. The APC hasn't gotten a ton done either, so I guess it's kind of a wash there. Fluffy is ahead a little bit in income. The Recon gets taken out. GG Recon. The tank count's looking pretty healthy for Fluffy here. Ooh, Operation Mechstorm. Gets revenge-ish. And kills an infantry. Ooh, Fluffy's like, no fear. I will fight into your artillery. Operation Mechstorm says, thanks for attacking into my artillery. It will attack, and I will try and take this city back. They'll have a little weird stare off. At the top here, Fluffy does just kind of take this city, which is nice. Mechstorm does a joint cap to get this. Stands on Fluffy's HQ with a bunch of tanks. The audacity. Fluffy's like, well, maybe, hey, that's my HQ. And starts going for some captures. We are slightly ahead in income for Fluffy here. And while Operation Mechstorm is standing on the HQ, the infantry are still a ways away. We have a very weird tank attack into this medium tank. Not quite sure what that was about. That might have been a misclick. It does give a charge advantage to Operation Mechstorm. which it might be the purpose. Strategic tank sacrifice. I mean, charge advantages are nice. They're especially nice in mirrors, and they're really, really nice in eagle mirrors, where the first super can often just kind of win the game. We have a bomber from Operation Mechstorm. The main concern is I'm not sure if that was enough of a charge advantage. Because eagle can really dive in on a turn to generate a lot of charge and then win off of it. Now, these players... attacking the copter might have been a mistake there. These players are playing live, so it's harder to calculate all of that on the spot. Operation Mechstorm looks like they'll probably be able to get it, because they, if nothing else, they have anti-air into tank. Oh. Oh no. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. When I was saying anti-air into tank, I thought we were talking about anti-air on the road into tank. Oh no, we hit the infantry. We hit the infantry, we're fine. Yeah. We're fine. It was always fine. It was never not going to be fine. And then we see an eagle super hit. For some reason, go for the Neo tank. I guess it's fine. Oof. Bombers be built different though. Fluffy might survive this. The rare second lightning strike win. There is always the positive that they do have to like overextend the lightning strike, yeah. The top does look very nice for Fluffy. Okay, you know what? That actually worked out for Fluffy. I think it was just because Operation Mechstorm had to overextend so far. And also the bombers didn't just, all the anti-airs didn't just get killed. So well done for Fluffy there. We have a bomber built. Operation Mechstorm's trying to salvage it. Down so much in unit value though. There's so many copters available for Fluffy. Kind of amazed if this Neo tank survives this turn. Yes, I guess a copter wasn't able to come in and get a follow-up hit, so it does survive. Just barely. Well, Operation Mechstorm can again get the first super, but it's not, or the second super first, but it's not enough. So GG. Well done by Fluffy. The APC, that was like a game of surviving the counters. The APC deals with the recon, or dealt fine with the recon first, and got the second super to win. GG. Never didn't have it. Yeah, that was almost. That was almost even more one-sided if Operation Mechstorm was not able to get the super there. Well played. And that's gonna be it for the stream. I hope everyone enjoyed. I'll be back next week. I'm not quite sure what the scheduling is gonna be like, but I'll let you know. I leave you all with an apple for the day, and thank you for watching. Oh, and of course there's a Patreon. You can become a member if you want emojis in the chat and stuff like that. Patreon if you want to support the stream. Anyway, have a good one. Thanks for watching.
It's Go7, king of the penguins. Of all the penguins, he is king. It's Go7, king of the penguins. Being king of the penguins, that's his thing.